Nancy and Tom not here,
What happened to
so
Tom?
might as well start. They're here. Got a quorum. First order of business was we did post the agenda on a timely basis. It was posted before 2:00 Monday. Okay, so we're in business legally.
The answer is no.
Yes. We've got minutes. Take a look at them. I couldn't get them out
I
yet
think
because I
they've
just
got it
finished them.
confused with the century plan.
Yeah, well, yeah, more or less have it, you know.
The amendment.
We don't want it to die.
It had me confused there for a minute.
Utility trash. Be there a.
Oh, amend, yeah,
Yes.
thank you.
Long as we
Okay.
deal with legal words.
And my name is spelled wrong. There's a
Oh, come on.
There's an O instead of a U.
Where is that?
Right in the attendance in person.
Yeah, I got O.
Yeah, it should be you.
Oh, of course it should be. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Usually I'm the one
And
that
I'm
has
just
trouble
here
name
because
spelling.
mine's a U.
You are.
And it's not supposed to be.
Well, it is supposed
Oh,
to
it
be.
is supposed to be. Okay.
After miscellaneous expense, there should be a line that says, we amended the cable to 415,000 from 411,000.
We didn't. It was just a misprint. It was always 415.
I don't know, okay.
Yeah, it was a misprint on what it was put together. It was always 415.
What page?
Tom just said, is it at 3? That's it. No, 2.
So you know, we already started.
Then, amend building salaries to 99,640.39, but it was what you handed out on that.
You're right there.
Was already 99,640. So that sentence can come out.
Okay, that can come out. All right. Yeah, because I got, okay, on one I had 79, yeah, the part-time thing. So that's out. Okay, anything else?
That's it. Agree with you.
Okay. All in favor? Anybody make a motion to accept as amended?
To accept.
Second one.
All in favor?
Hi.
Should we wait for Tom since he knows he's coming?
He is on his way.
He's not playing off or something.
I think he just thought it was 3 o'clock.
Okay. Well, what you have, just we'll go take a look at it. The new issue is the completed version of the budget as amended. And then the breakdown. And I presume you all understand how the breakdown goes. There's a set of percentages in the documents that you apply. Basically, the you know, some people, how do you get 1283.11 as a 23 on their maintenance fee? And that is a compilation of all the fees other than reserves and cable TV. And you have a multiplican of 2300s. You multiply that figure. Page. Too many papers. Just for interest sake.
Is there a reason we broke them down like that?
Yeah, it's right out of the documents.
Okay, thank
You
you.
multiply that figure for 2300s by 0.191%. 2080s, you take the same figure and you multiply it by 0.188055555, and so on, as written in the documents.
John, can I ask you on that sheet,
Mhm.
the 3,823,159, it's for total budget.
Okay.
How do I find that on the backup sheet? What is that? Because it's on
That's
the
the-
backup sheet.
That's the total, if you look, you have the budget, the 4-page budget, what's the last figure you have?
4,000,000 oh wait, total expenses, yeah, 4,037,949.
Let me see, what do you have there?
I'm looking at good. It's just between the other way.
Yeah, mine match.
This is we just put out today.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute, the Yeah, never mind.
Okay.
Got it.
Oh, I did so good the first time I had it.
No, that's what that is.
Having a rough couple of days.
We'll get this together. We gotta see all of it.
So in other words, you take that figure and you multiply it by that percentage. Reserve same way, you take 650,000 and you multiply it by the same percentages. And cable TV bill, you take the cable TV bill and multiply it by the same percentages. The only thing that the owners do not pay as far as some of the expenses, there's a write-off on the income
Well,
portion of.
Cable TV is
interest.
flat. It's.
No, cable TV is fine, you're right, I
Cable
misspoke.
TV
Yeah,
is just.
that's one of the,
Yeah.
that's one of the.
It's
per
not a
units.
weighted average.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah, you're right, I misspoke. Thank goodness, it's less calculations. And then, on the spreadsheet, Barbara said, last year we gave, quarterly,
Yeah.
differences.
Reduce the number.
Yeah,
The last two
but the
times.
problem was two periods were one
Price. and-
price, two periods were another price. Hey there, Tom.
Hey. We're done. Tom, you're early. I know. We're scheduled for 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tom.
should be a whole packet.
All right. Great.
Definitely have that. Maybe your name and John, if you wouldn't mind.
That's only the, spreadsheet.
That's, yeah, that's okay.
You gave it to me.
I got a bunch of things up here with. Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
What kind of, at the adjournment?
Okay, good.
Now, we're just through basically the minutes and we're just starting to talk about
Okay,
the budget as amended.
okay.
I think when people goes out to the owners. They wanna know, how is it changing from what I'm paying now? And they're paying quarterly. So I think that was the idea, I'm assuming, that's when I look at the change as an owner, always looking at the last column. How is this changing from what I'm paying now? No, what they're paying now is what they're paying for July 1st.
Mhm.
And.
September first.
So-
Well,
no,
July
July 1st
1st.
ends.
October.
Yeah, we had two quarters, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
see, if you
should
go
we be
back-
comparing it,
Well, what's
Back
two
and
quarters?
well,
Which two quarters?
the last 2 quarters, because that's what they're paying.
But then it looks like we're giving them less,
I know it does,
but
but
we're really giving them more.
Well,
Yeah,
but
I know, I understand.
But I think they realize that. I would hope they realize that. I mean, I don't know,
they
it's hard
only
to,
know what they're paying now.
okay, yeah.
That's all right.
That's the lower
So
amount.
if you propose, I'll be happy to do whatever you want. If
I
you
mean,
propose we put the
We're a
last thing. on.
Democratic
Yeah,
society, so.
no,
we
no,
say
no,
one
no,
thing.
I'm saying that. So so I understand it. You want the last quarter, the last quarter we paying be the fee versus the next year's fee. And whatever difference it is, will work out.
Well, first of all,
Okay.
can I
I
ask
can
you
be
a
my
question
own-
about what's here?
Yeah,
Is this decrease, is that a quarterly decrease?
no, that's a yearly.
It's an annual decrease.
Yeah.
So you're
that's-
confused, huh?
Oh, of course I'm confused.
That was your point. That's a good one.
An annual decrease.
Yeah, that was,
Okay.
normally it's quarterly, but because there was two different figures
I
last
got
year.
you, I got you, I understand.
Unless you just
But-
explain to them and remind them that, you did pay this for 6 months and then you paid this for 6 months.
Well,
And so that average is this, and
No,
this
I
is
wouldn't
what
do
your
that.
new one's gonna be.
so I'm gonna be my own devil's advocate. We were only gonna be giving them back a specific amount. And we
$100,
spread
average
that
$100.
over the last 2 quarters.
Gave them
If
$200.
we did nothing else, would our quarterly fee have reverted back to what it was the beginning of 2024, for the first 2 payments?
Not necessarily, because we now know that we don't have to put 1.5 million in for their insurance.
Okay, so
Yeah,
I'm
that-
just
that-
trying to see, should we be comparing it to the original amount or the reduced amount we're having them pay now? I mean, I think it should be what we're having them pay right now.
I agree.
Yeah, because if we averaged it and put it in there, they'll say, I'm not paying that.
No, right,
Yeah,
I don't, I agree. with
that'd be
you.
more confusing.
Yeah, right, yeah, give me,
All
yeah.
right, so we're gonna put the third and fourth quarter figure as the last year's, and we'll go with the quarter.
Can we
Okay.
go?
Well,
Maybe-
where are you gonna put that?
No, we're gonna get rid of the yearly.
Give it that last column. We're gonna give it that last column.
Where it says,
Propose your fee.
proposed
Well-
quarterly fee, proposed yearly fee. What I'll do then is, no, I'll put proposed quarterly fee, then I will put last year's fee
Yes,
per quarter, and then this will be the difference. The third will be the difference.
And the difference is gonna be in the quarterly fee, not in.
Yeah,
the annual.
I'm not sure we need to show the annual fee anyway, do we? I mean,
Well, that was the thing. I was having trouble figuring out what to
Yeah.
do, so I did it.
because I think people just look at the most current thing, so if you look at the currently quarter,
I
what do
look
you
at
think,
the
guys?
annual fee Personally,
I could put the annual.
all the time.
Yeah, that's, I mean, I look at the quarterly too, you know, that tells me a lot more. So.
Unless you just leave that column out and let them figure out themselves if it's
Yeah,
something
they do,
that
they
they
do.
did pay, and
Yeah.
hopefully they'll remember they paid more at the beginning of the year and they paid less
And
at the end of the year.
Meeting, we'll have you get up and explain. No questions directed to.
No, whatever y'all want, we put there. I
Well, I
mean,
have a completely different suggestion and a different opinion.
Okay,
I don't think we should reduce anything.
Thank you.
I don't think we should give back a penny. I think we should just move forward with what we're paying right now. Because I'm afraid of the risk of what might happen next year. It will give us a slight cushion, but people are not expecting a decrease. They're expecting an increase.
Yeah.
And if we say we're in good shape, we don't have to raise anything, but we are having to raise our total reserves, but you don't have to pay anything more, you're gonna pay the same. I think that's the smart way to do it. We
Well, that
give
brings-
back, I'm afraid we're gonna have to go for an assessment.
I think that brings up a good point as far as.
100%.
I don't know,
Because when we had the last meeting where we told them about the reduction, what we said, or I said, was we hope we can continue that through next year.
That's right. That's right. And I think
And if
that's
we
the
can
right
just
thing
do
to
that, they're
do.
gonna be happy.
I don't think, I mean, this is a substantial reduction, which I'm sure everybody would love, but I don't think it's the right thing from a business perspective.
Well, we know.
And we may be able to go through 26 at
Right.
that same price, if
That's
we
right.
have that much of a cushion.
Okay.
And people are
But-
gonna be more happy with not getting an
Let's talk
increase.
about what does substantial.
But ethically, the
reduction-
people that live here want to pay today's bills. They don't want to pay for bills in 50 years because they're not going to be alive in 50
Well,
years.
that's,
I'm not
bad.
planning on being alive in 50 years. I mean, that's kind of the basis of full funding, but we're already
Yeah, but
full
look at the
funded. We don't have to be
people who
excess of
lived
full
in your
funded.
place before you, they probably paid for some of this roof resealing.
That's all
So
right.
you're now benefiting.
They're my parents, so they.
Yeah, well, mine too, same way, but, yeah.
So if we're I'll just take unit 2300. Right now, they're paying 1,865.40 a quarter. And the proposed amount is 1,779.43. It's a reduction of $85 and change, almost $86 a quarter. So what
what was that again, what they're paying now?
they're paying $1,865.40.
Because because I give an example with my thing I set up so that if I change any numbers, we can look at it. If you put another 100 grand into there, in the overall reserve fund, we're still looking at 1826.16 for the fee, so we can even go to the higher fund, put more in the reserve fund than the 650. You know, which is what Roger suggested.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
yeah. The
We might be able to
reserves
do-
would end up
let me
being
try
higher.
800,000.
Your suggestion is to take that
Don't raise it,
and put
okay,
it in the reserve
right, yeah,
instead of operating?
because you don't know what the insurance company's gonna make us do with the roast.
Okay.
But you can't make insurance with reserves.
What is
Let
the-
me help with the
Well, but
second
we have
here.
to, we have
Okay,
to fix the building though.
so let me help a little bit.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do it, which
We're
is
gonna
fine,
dredge lakes.
what you're gonna do, but I don't think I would earmark it for reserves.
No.
I would
Okay.
earmark it for operating in case insurance goes up, and then if you have it at the end of the year, then you can put it in the reserve.
Well, what if they tell us we gotta replace the road?
Well, no, I mean, you're still gonna have the
Yeah.
money, but I'm saying if you mark it for reserves
I don't know.
and insurance goes up, you can't take the money out of the reserves to pay the insurance bill.
I suppose, yeah.
So bottom line, what we're talking about here is not giving anything back, putting it into our
Something.
funds and keeping it.
Right.
And frankly, I think that's the way to go.
And-
There's jerking back and forth.
Telling people we've had to increase this, we've had to decrease that, we've had to increase the reserves, because we're gonna have to ask them to approve not full funding anyway.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's still, I think if we have to tell them or get them to approve not full funding the million whatever for the reserves for this year. If we tell them we gotta approve less in reserves, then I think it's contradictory to
Yes.
give him something back on the other side. So that's why I'm thinking if we stay level, people are gonna be happy that there's no increase.
Yeah.
We've worked hard to make sure there's no increase, and we'll be able to pay our bills, even if they change.
And it takes the pressure off of us as far as future problems.
It
Sure.
could.
So you're saying
in
that
better
if we
spot.
give them this decrease, that we're gonna have to take a vote to not fully fund?
No,
We
because
have to anyway.
You have to anyway.
We have to anyway.
But if you don't do that, you are gonna still be fully funded, so you don't
No.
have to take that vote?
No, we're not gonna be fully funded. We're funding 700,000.
But,
The requirement for 2025 is 1,000,001.
and if you wanted to use the defense for that, if they want to be fully funded, be one, put 2,300, be 1,950, 1,079 for the fees.
So we'd have to raise it
Yes.
to fully fund,
So if you wanted, somebody wanted to sell it to them, that's how you do it.
right?
Up on the screen is the current
Yeah,
October figures on the right
yeah,
and the proposed
Right.
figures on the left.
Right.
If you wanted to keep the current figures, it's not a lot of money.
Yeah.
Right,
In
yeah.
most cases, it's only 60 or 70, 80 bucks difference.
That's right.
You're not asking for a whole lot of money.
It's about
That's the
50,000.
January number before we took the decrease?
John, what is it in total? Do you know? what
Yeah.
the check
no,
is?
that's
Well,
the
that's-
dry number. That's the dry number.
This is
That's the
the-
dry
Well,
number.
it's
Say it.
dated January.
You know, that's because
What are people talking about?
we've always put it in as January, December. We
Right, yeah.
changed it now in
19
July.
something,
Let's
Okay.
take an average, okay?
I remember.
You say it's about $85?
I would.
Yeah,
The average
86.
would be about, that's 86.
Well,
is the
86 at the top
21.
one,
Right.
so let's say
It's
81.
even a little less on some of the
Right,
other.
so let's say 82. 82 times 558. 45,000.
Oh, we're not talking much at all.
A quarter,
No,
Oh, no,
we're not.
that's a quarter.
that's a quarter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, yeah,
It's 180,000.
Okay,
Yeah.
how are we looking on operating reserves? Because we
Operating
pretty much drained that
surplus, we
previously.
call it, don't we?
Operating surplus, we'll know at the end of the year when we finalize
Yeah, but
everything.
but this could probably use for that.
But, well, we got, oh no, well, don't forget that you gave back $200,000. All right, you gave $100 twice, you gave $200 per,
Per unit.
yeah,
That's,
gave back an average of $200
For two
why would that
quarters.
matter?
times,
That, to me, that doesn't.
To-
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that cuts into your surplus.
That's not relevant.
No,
well, it cuts into your surplus, that's $223,000.
Right, but I'm just saying is, what are we talking about? And I'm confused now. Are we talking about giving them the new numbers with the 650, or are we just not gonna raise them, just keep it the same?
We're talking about operating. We're not
I'm
even
suggesting
talking about
keeping it the
650.
same.
Right,
yeah,
okay.
keep it-
all right.
and
just
putting that,
what?
putting that in operating surplus.
Okay, all
Keep
right.
it the numbers on the right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
Keep with the numbers on the right.
yeah,
That everybody's paid in July
right,
and we'll pay again in October.
right, yeah. Mhm. Yeah, I don't have a
But
problem.
let them know about all these other things, just like you said.
Yeah,
We have to ask and get them to vote on not fully funding.
exactly,
If we fully funded, here's what you would go
Exactly.
up to.
yeah,
That's the way to sell it. You're
That's
So
exactly
are we
right.
Yeah.
putting the difference in insurance expense line?
I don't think it has to go in any line.
Is it?
Boy, it has to balance,
Has to show
Yes.
out.
it has to balance
I'm
income
sorry.
and
I'm sorry.
Unexpected,
You're right.
unknown maintenance. expense.
I would put it in the administrative salaries personally.
What I'm saying, administrator salary.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not-
Board member salary?
I gotta pay the board member.
The insurance funds.
Yeah, it would make
never
sense to put it in
know
the insurance.
Yeah.
What that's gonna be until the last
Right,
minute.
yeah,
It's a
Because
contingency.
even though
Yeah.
they said that it might be
Alright.
less, it.
And then you can always throw in a statement, if we have surplus, we may be able to keep your maintenance fees this way,
For next year.
2026.
Yeah.
Right.
There's
We
a
did that-
possibility.
We did that for a while too.
If we have a surplus, we'll apply to it.
We will be able to figure that
We
surplus
can't commit to that.
that I'm comfortable with by the end of the year.
Figure-
Next year.
yeah, but
We
this
don't
would
know
be-
what the dredging and all that
No,
stuff.
no, no.
come out.
Hold on.
Right.
You can commit to that. If we have a surplus, a real surplus, I'm not talking about a projection surplus. We have a real surplus, we'll take that into account when we look at next year's expenses. That's all.
We'll take it into account, yeah.
Yeah,
But I
'cause-
mean, you can't commit to giving something back.
I didn't say, I didn't commit to that. I don't commit to things like that.
There was a time where there was upwards of $300,000 in the surplus account.
Yeah.
And at least 3 years,
We didn't.
the board reduced the fees by that surplus, by using some of that surplus. They
Yeah.
did about 150,000 one year and $70,000 and so on. So there's ways you can get it back if you want to. You keep it, if you don't.
I
We
mean,
all-
my understanding, I don't even know where I
Rather
heard
be-
this, is you're supposed to keep at least 100,000.
No, we never just set by the board. I
That
think
was just set up by the board saying,
Yeah.
I'm comfortable with 100,000,
Okay, that's probably.
which is
But-
not bad.
Yeah, but more be better.
And we kept from raising fees by using that.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's why they got hit too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that lasted, you're right, it did last, I remember, it was amazing, we didn't raise it for 2 years,
Right.
because it was crazy. It was
Right.
like,
And that's why it got hit, because you had 3 years of expense to make up on for price increase.
What we're really trying to get away from is these yo-yo years.
mhm.
Mhm. Good point.
How are we gonna change this thing so that it goes to what we want?
Well, I'm gonna have to give you another set of things, but it's not gonna be far off of what you're looking at now.
Can we vote on what we?
Well,
have
you can
for-
vote on the fact that you want the fees to be that and
Yes.
the excess be put in the insurance account.
Yeah,
Yes.
So we.
I'll make that motion.
Going
Okay,
forward.
I can- yeah.
I make the motion to do that.
Second,
Excellent.
John, are we presenting this to the board in next
October.
week's?
No.
Oh, October.
October.
I like that.
should be there.
All right, so,
Sorry, making you more work, John.
no, it's no, listen,
That's what the meeting's for.
it's, happy to do to bring to everything that, I think it's great. How could people not be
Well,
unhappy?
I'll be honest with you, whatever else been going on in all the little places around here, there's no way they're not gonna be happy about the fact there's no increase.
Right.
Exactly,
Because
exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Because Wildwood too is going up a hell of a lot, like.
you didn't make any work,
Okay.
I was gonna
Let me
say the
just,
same
let me
thing.
just say
Thank you.
this, that's gonna be the good news, but the bad news is somebody's gonna be saying the words, we're not fully funding the reserves. And people don't necessarily know what that means.
Mhm.
But the fact is, we have a budget plan to pay for the roof deck. The roof deck is what's causing that.
Right,
But we
exactly.
do have a budget plan over the next 13 years
Right,
to pay for that.
Okay.
So it's not, don't be alarmed by the words, we're not fully funding.
right.
We're just on a budget
Well,
plan to pay for
We'll
it.
have to.
Well, we'll
wait-
put it on, it has to have a cover letter.
Right.
Yeah.
All right,
Yes.
and then I'll draft it and take amendments in any way anybody wants.
And then, like I said, what I'll do is I'll give you that number that I got when we put the fully funded number in there on the reserve fund.
Mhm.
And this way you can show that this be what it'd be if we fully fund.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, well, I think we know it already, 1 million.
Well, so
Yeah, no,
when-
no, I'm talking
when
about
do
the
we have to
monthly
have an
fees.
owner's
Oh.
vote?
the quarterly
When do we
fees,
have to have an owner's vote then?
yes.
You don't, the owner's vote will have to be at the November meeting,
After November meeting, okay.
How
So,
much notice we need to get that owner's off?
2 weeks.
That's all, just 2 weeks?
so.
And we can accept proxies.
You're saying we present this to the board in November?
No, present it to the board in October and the board accepts it for mailing to the owners for adoption at the November meeting.
Okay. So
Since
that's-
you're ready, you could, well, it's not on the agenda for the next, that'd be too,
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it gets tight with the mailing and everything, but
Yeah.
So the owners really approve it in November anyway.
the owners, no.
Or no?
If it's fully funded, the board approves. Because you don't have the right to fund less than fully funded.
We're approving it at the October meeting. though.
Now you're accepting it for
Accepting
mailing
the
to the
budget.
owners. That's all you're
Okay,
doing.
that's all we're
Yeah.
doing, okay.
If you fully funded and and the operating expense was whatever you determined it to be, there would be no vote, because that's why there's never been a vote.
So if when do the owners have to vote?
They have to vote at the November meeting.
Okay.
So we'll want to try to get it out as quickly as we can. Earliest, it'd be great to get it 2 days after the October meeting to give them 30 days. I mean, your minimum time is 2 weeks.
What would stop us from doing it?
Rain, hurricane, I don't know. Yeah.
Hurricanes.
Yeah. No, I mean, that would be a plan to try to, oh, yeah, I mean, no,
We
sure.
can work on it well before that,
Oh, of course.
sure.
we know what we're gonna
Yeah,
do, we can
exactly.
have it, you know.
Yeah.
As long as we know that the board's gonna accept it for mailing, we can start working on it.
And the November meeting is the one at the church, is that correct?
That's correct,
October also, right?
usually.
October is good,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's because people will see the budget the first time. A lot of people will be coming, a lot of people will be back.
So what happens if they vote not to become fully funded?
Now,
Well,
that's what you want them to vote.
Yes.
You
No,
don't
but I
want them.
mean, what if they don't
If they don't
vote
accept
that?
it.
But
Well,
what
that's
if
what
they
I'm saying.
want to
That's because I
re-
want to show them how much the fees would be if we fully fund for this next year.
We can go to that, that's. like
Yes.
Plan B.
You know,
Those,
Yeah,
that's
you
the
show that,
alternative. You
you
want to
gotta
show
go-
them that.
Yeah.
This is,
Yeah, if they assist on fully funding for 2025, here's your new payment,
That's right.
We
Yeah.
have to have that available.
right?
Well, yeah.
It's
and-
just
and
something we
that's-
can-
No, that'll go in the letter.
Has to go in the letter.
That's
Yeah.
gotta go in the letter,
Okay,
because that should convince them to vote
Yes,
for
yeah,
the proposed budget. The vote will be basically the vote for funding as proposed by the board.
I think Barbara's putting in that thing about the roof is real important because,
That's the whole point of it.
yeah, we won't have to. We won't be looking at assessments like our neighbors,
right.
It's not that we're
No,
not.
let's don't
funding
say we're not looking at
Right.
assessments, because the insurance
not
company,
like our
I
neighbors.
mean, this is still 14 years away, right?
Right, yeah,
Okay.
And it's
So-
not like we're not funding the roof
Yeah.
deck.
No, we're funding the roof deck over a 14-year period.
yeah.
If the insurance company says in 2 years, I don't like your original roofs anymore, and you better put the new ones up there, you're not gonna be fully funded, and you will have an assessment, so you can never
Yeah.
say not have it.
Right.
Yeah,
Or you would have a bank loan and whatever,
Yeah.
whatever to be determined. But we know that there's a significant amount of money put away now.
which we're starting to anyway, yeah,
Yeah. Well, there already is really for the coating.
right, yeah, right,
I mean, that money would go into the roof deck
right, yeah,
fund if in fact they wouldn't let you.
right.
All right.
Tom, I believe there's a motion with a second on the floor.
Okay,
Yeah, we had a motion, by Roger, seconded by Marv to, go with the last year's, go with a
Fees
budget,
remain the
a
same.
budget where the maintenance fees remain the same.
Exactly.
remain the same as the current.
Yeah, with, yeah,
That's
Just
what
not say
they
that
are right
it's
there.
Yeah,
remain the
current,
same as the
yeah.
current, yeah.
okay, yeah. That works.
Let's have a vote.
Anybody opposed?
All four, I guess.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Any opposed? Nope. Okay, I guess that's unanimous, right?
Fabulous.
Okay,
You, as a committee, you've basically done your job unless you, something comes up.
right,
Obviously, you don't disband, but,
well. we'll just-
do you want to still have that October meeting where everybody sees the final figures?
Yes,
Just before the board meeting?
yes.
Yeah, well, we could,
And-
well, what do
and
you-
the
what
letter-
do you
When
have?
is it- when
Oh,
is
yeah, and the
October?
letter.
John,
October
we'd like to
1st.
see those numbers and the letter.
Oh, yeah, of course.
well, you had a September 30th, but last time
Okay.
No, we can't.
we canceled that one. I don't
Yeah.
have anything down for October 1st.
No, that's September 30th would have been the meeting.
Oh, okay.
So
Cancel
we-
that.
are
You
we
want to
going
put it back
to
on?
Keeping that meeting?
No.
I won't be here, I know that.
Well, you don't need to have, I mean, all you need is, you're just gonna look at stuff and say, yeah, that's what I want. When is it? The board meeting is not until, October, I mean, the workshop's not until what?
This is like one of those crazy months, I think, John, where the workshop's on the 8th and the
Oh,
board meeting's not till the 21st.
All right,
Yeah.
so that would mean that,
you'd have to have a meeting.
the week before,
Yeah.
the second, third, or fourth, we could have a meeting
Yeah, here's
and everything could be ready for
Workshops,
your review.
21st.
It's one of those crazy months, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where we go
Yes.
3 weeks to
I
the.
told
board
I have to
meeting.
get back till about here.
Yeah.
I'm,
Right.
Yeah, the 8th and the 15th or something
no, I
like that.
get out
There's
about, I
a
get, I
2-week
shoot
gap
back about
between the
the
workshop and the board meeting.
That's the workshop.
Yeah.
You can have it that week or.
It shouldn't
next
be.
week.
Yeah, because of the way the
Well-
month falls.
No. Yeah,
It's the third Monday for the board, right?
third Monday for the board, second
Second Tuesday.
Tuesday.
So second Tuesday's the 8th, third Monday's the
Oh.
21st.
Yeah.
We're gonna have enough time between the 21st and November.
Cause November's gonna be awful early then, right?
Yeah,
And
you could
November-
always
The
move,
18th.
you could always move the board meeting
Yeah.
to the week before.
14th, you mean, of October?
Mhm.
Week before is Columbus Day.
Yeah.
Church open on Columbus.
See, so nobody be working, they could come to the meeting.
I mean, the more time we get between the
That,
board
yeah.
accepting it for mailing
Yeah.
and the mailing date, the better. If it has to be one, it's another. I mean, you know,
So the board would have to, at this coming meeting next week, vote to change the board meeting from
Yeah.
October to the 14th.
yeah, for budgetary purposes.
Right.
Okay.
Which
Do
is
that.
makes
You
sense.
okay with that?
Yeah.
Board meeting in November should be on the 18th.
Right.
Correct.
Right. So if we have this on the 14th, that gives us a little over a
A little over
month.
30 days to
Yeah.
get the letter out. Yep. And get the.
But if we
process
have the
back.
letter ready,
Right.
you know, it can go right afterwards. That would be key.
This makes sense.
So when do you want to do this committee's meeting before the?
When do you want?
I won't be
Do
back
it
till
on
October 8th,
Wednesday, the
so-
2nd, or
All
Friday,
right,
the
Tom's gonna
4th?
be back on October 8th.
That's a maybe, but yeah, that's basically
Well,
the
it's-
earliest I can be back.
No.
No, you want to put it up for like, well, what works for everybody, and
Well, so you got a meeting before you have your board meeting, right? Your workshop,
Well,
right?
we could have a meeting on the 3rd.
No, Tom won't be back till the 8th, he said.
Yeah, well, that's the day of the workshop.
not the day of the meeting.
No, it's the day of the workshop.
Oh, but that's what's got to be presented at the
Yeah, but it's
workshop,
gonna be presented at the
Right.
workshop.
Presented
Right,
at the
yes.
workshop.
What time's the workshop?
10 o'clock.
Workshop's 10 o'clock.
On the 8th. Of October.
Tom, are you somewhere where you can zoom in?
It'll be 3:30 in the morning.
There you go.
Where's your
So-
dedication?
Oh, no problem. And we'll be here.
I'll be there, but.
At least that, depending if I, that would maybe 11 o'clock in the morning, but I would probably be, I don't know, like I say, I'm actually flying back on the 6th, but then I'm flying back into Orlando, so I just drive back on the 7th.
Well, can we move the workshop?
well-
to-
When do you leave, Tom?
Saturday,
What day?
This week.
this
Oh,
week.
this week, you know, yeah.
Can we move the workshop to October 9th, or is that too late?
Well, if he's coming
You come back on the 6th.
27 hours on the 8th, you don't wanna have to come to a meeting, do you?
Well, I mean, I broke it up, so I'm staying and I'm flying back first to California and flying back here
Okay.
and, you know, but. yeah.
What day are you getting back?
Well, the flight out of California is the 6th.
Oh, okay.
And the 7th, I could be back. Probably pretty tired, but driving anyway. I probably could drive to 2 hours back here pretty
But
quick.
that doesn't give you much time if there's any modifications. I
Right.
mean, well, everybody's gonna have this well before that 7th. I mean, I'll do the figures.
Can you come to the workshop on the 8th?
Yeah, I think so.
Do it right at the beginning of the workshop, or?
We could, yeah. Because the board's gotta know about it anyway.
We can't vote.
You
till-
can't vote at a workshop.
No,
No, no, it's just for the presentation. That's all it is.
Okay.
And that you can accept it at the meeting that will now be the other day,
14th.
14th.
So we've approved this figure for things, right? What else do we need to do as part of the committee?
Congratulate yourselves for a good job. You held a feast.
And
Good job, everybody.
So you're gonna get out early anyway, when we're gonna see all this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so there's comments in between. We have to.
Yeah. I mean, and probably. I got so much to do for the board
Well, if
meeting.
it's
on
fit to
the-
page, we
probably
might not be able to
that's
see
as long
the
as-
numbers.
yeah,
But it was-
Well, I mean,
You missed that. They put this whole thing on one piece of paper.
Have a doctor.
She printed it out in a printer, it was so smooth.
Well, that was, yeah, I was just figuring out, I got all these extra
You know how
blank
it works.
paper.
Yeah, I do.
George is sitting here.
Hey, George. Hi, George.
Was George here? Oh, hi.
Yeah, George came in.
Okay, so, okay.
It's at 6 months back up.
All right.
Are we done?
I think so. Motion for adjournment?
So moved.
All right. All right.